readers and listeners of AwardsWatch.com. This is the AwardsWatch Podcast. I'm the executive editor, Ryan McQuaid. And time of recording of this is 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, the right standard time on May 15th, Sunday. And I am not alone in this endeavor. Erik Anderson is here. Say hi to the people, Erik.
Hello, people.
And all the way across the pond, Sophia Seminello.
Hi, everyone.
And back here in the States, Josh Parham.
Hello.
A lot to talk about today, guys. Wow, I can't even speak today. Congratulations to myself. We are going to be previewing this year's Oscars already in May. Thanks, Erik. Really appreciate that.
Hey, I took a whole month off. Consider yourself lucky.
That's true. And we are Awards Watch, so I mean, we technically have to always be obsessed with awards over here. And the new Oscar season, since the last one's done, and slaps and awards were handed out over at the last ceremony, so we can hopefully move on to just awards next year. And it was announced this week that we do have a date for that Oscars. That will be March 12th, 2023. The nominations will be announced on January 24th, 2023. And those will be at the crack of dawn for everybody on the West Coast and decent crack of dawn for everybody on the East and Central Time. And then, the Oscars aren't going to be in April. They're not in late March. They're going to be during the middle of South by Southwest for people that are covering that. So that'll be hectic as hell. So
I love that no one at the Academy had a calendar for next year to know that nominations will be in the middle of Sundance and the show in the middle of South by. And I think South by is going to have to change. They're going to change.
That's like telling an entire city to change, which is, it could happen, but that's, maybe the Academy should just change.
Maybe they shouldn't.
Nah,
They can change a lot of things, but I don't think they're going to change the date.
Change is not in their vocabulary, it feels like. But it's nice to see that they're a little bit earlier. I mean, it is still insane that there's like a 2-month almost time gap in between the nominations and the announcement of the winners, which I hate. I'm like, just put it in February. Why can't it be in February?
47 days.
That's a lot.
That's too much.
Yeah. It needs to be 30 days maximum. That's what I say. Yeah. But Erik, this week,
what happened?
You wrote 2 pieces.
Oh my God! Yes.
Oh my God!
Out of my crypt to write something.
And they were our first previews of the Best Supporting Actress and Best Supporting Actor race. So we'll start with Best Supporting Actress. And
juicy category.
Very juicy category. Always a really juicy category until the actual competition or the actual race, and then it feels like we get down to like 6 people and it gets really sad. I love Best Supporting Actress, and I always feel like we're leaving a lot of room to be desired within this category. But based off your breakdown, what did you kind of see here within the early contenders, and what was your piece about, basically?
Well, early predictions for acting categories, especially for things that we have only know on paper, can be hard to do with potential category placement in the future. There are a couple in this that could be lead. We just don't really quite know yet. So for the purposes of May predictions, I've got some in here in supporting that might also end up in my lead list as well, just to cover those bets. But the really cool, fun, interesting thing that I noticed about this year is if you were in Kelly Reichardt's Certain Women, you have a really good chance in getting an Oscar nomination for this season, because there are no less than 4 actresses from that movie that have films this year, 3 of which I think have a pretty good chance. But again, basing it on potential category placement. So like Michelle Williams has The Fabelmans, Lily Gladstone has Killers of the Flower Moon, Laura Dern has The Sun, and where was I at? Oh yeah, Kristen Stewart. Although, Crimes of the Future, I don't imagine is going anywhere, but she was in it too. So I'm just fascinated by that specific cast having so much potential this year.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's really interesting, like the way you broke it down, because you have Williams in there at your number one spot right now for The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg's film that we'll talk about here probably later, and then Lily Gladstone, who's in there for Killers of the Flower Moon, which is Martin Scorsese's big film, and I saw a film with her over at South by Southwest this year that she led, and that was I forgot what the title of it was actually, but she was actually really good in it. And then Laura Dern, she won a couple of years ago, coming back in The Sun, and then Jessie Buckley, who was just nominated last year, coming into this, and then Patricia Clarkson rounds out your top five for She Said, which seems like Kazan and Mulligan will go lead for that, and then that leaves the door open for her. I've heard some mixed things about that film already. And we'll see how far that film goes, but Patricia Clarkson, a veteran actress that very well could get her flowers there for a nomination. But then there's so many others. So like, Josh, I'm going to kick it over to you from this piece and looking at this category already. Are there some exciting maybe actresses that Erik doesn't have in his top five that you could potentially see rising up here? Maybe some that we've already seen, maybe some that are sight unseen.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that initially that is a decent top five. And like Erik said in the beginning here, you're just sort of guessing as to what sounds good on paper without seeing most of these movies. So I do agree with most of that. I also do wonder about Hong Chow in The Whale, because she came so close to a nomination already. And even though it was in a movie that nobody really liked, people still kind of responded to her performance. And she's had a good run on Watchmen when that premiered. So I feel like there's goodwill building for her and for that movie just in general too. And that's another performance, I think, that especially if Brendan Fraser is being looked at as like a really strong contender, she may come along with the entire ride of that film, or at least centered on his performance too.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd be interested to see. I mean, that film will release sometime at A24. They're going to be juggling a lot of things this year. It seems like between this and the big success from the box office this weekend, it looks like that Everything Everywhere All at Once will be their number one film of all time sooner rather than later. So maybe there's awards campaigns they have to push massively now for that, and they have to factor that into what they already have. They have a massive slate of films this year. But I'm curious, Sophia, picking up same question over to you, is there somebody that Josh or Erik haven't mentioned that you're keeping your eye on here?
Yeah, I think I would like to echo both of you guys. I think Hong Chow is a great pick. Aronofsky films also usually bring an actor along if they're successful, with the exception of like Mother, which was very polarizing. But I think this is a good top five. I'm so curious. I think for films like Women Talking and She Said, with these larger female dominated ensemble casts, where we're going to see those shake out, right? Mm-hmm. Who's going to go in lead? Who's going to go in supporting? Are we going to get the co-leads that we actually should have for She Said? Those are all still question marks at this point. I think the two that I'm most curious about right now, the first one is Jean Smart for Babylon. Jean Smart has a ton of goodwill in the industry. She is coming off of Emmy heat for Hacks and for Mayor of Easttown, and I can see her really, depending on what this role is like. I haven't read the Babylon script that's out, but it could be a really meaty role. I've heard this movie is quite awardsy, right? It's very much, it's closer to like an NC-17 hard R compared to La La Land, of course. And then the other would be Greta Gerwig for White Noise, because she could very much be a lead. That based on that book, Adam Driver, his character is clearly the lead, but she definitely has some wiggle room. So it's just all about how Netflix pushes that and how the industry responds to it, because it could be much more of a critic's play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I totally agree with both you. And I have Hong Chow at number 6 on my list. And to your point, Sophia, yeah, Women Talking has an obscene cast of possibilities that could show up, and it makes these kinds of early predicting really difficult. And even The Whale has 3 potential female supporting roles. They have Sadie Sink and Samantha Morton as well. So it all depends on who rises to the top, because both supporting actress and supporting actor have so many movies with chances for dual nominations, or at least contenders. But not everybody's. There's only 5 spots.
Yeah, I mean, then there's the battle of maybe potential 2020 rivals and Vanessa Kirby and Frances McDormand, like you're mentioning with Women Talking. Frances is not only a producer on the film, but she's also, once again, has a part in it. Last time she did that, she won Best Picture and she won Best Actress. So that's something to consider. And then, of course, for The Son, we talked about Laura Dern, but Vanessa Kirby's in there as well. Someone to keep an eye on there. For me, Audra McDonald for Rustin is someone that I could totally see getting in there. Someone, we talk about Jean Smart, someone that's been on stage and on television and in movies for so many years, someone that can finally, get her roses here with a nomination, her first nomination, as well as with, I think that film could do really well with being that Netflix seems to have a lighter load right now. It seems with Rustin and White Noise, those are their top priorities. Maybe
I think they're going to have more, and
we don't know about it yet.
They could also pick up a lot more too.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm saying just right now, because like right now, it's like those two, and I mean, I don't buy Blonde, but we'll go with that. I mean, that movie, it's already seeming to like have its negative stuff out there, and then there's, of course, we don't know what Fincher's new film, if it will be ready in time, if it'll be out there, and if how big a role is Tilda involved in that film.
Yeah,
along with
that's why I kept her
Fassbender
down in the other, because it just was only a maybe. I do have a little bit of tea on Jean Smart though, and this is only based from a test screening, but it was in March, and her role's not that big, and that was an actual comment from people that I talked to, was that she's like this Hedda Hopper type, gossip columnist. Which is a great idea, but Helen Mirren was, and that didn't work out for her. So
it seems like a SAG only thing.
It feels so sad. Yes, absolutely.
And then, of course, someone that we have seen is Stephanie Hassou, who's in Everything Everywhere All at Once, who's extraordinary in that film, along with the rest of that cast. And I'm curious, Josh, and then we can kick Sophia and Erik. We already know that she's on your list and everything here, but do you guys see a potential as like people are talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once? Could this be a landing spot maybe down the road for an up and comer, a shining new Oscar nominee in this category?
I think if that were to happen, that is like that movie is having its best day possible.
Yeah.
And not to say that it couldn't, but it's going to take a lot of work. And I feel like that movie is already in an uphill battle in so many other categories that I just have a suspicion that is going to be like sort of unrealistic pie in the sky of what it can get. But it could happen. I wouldn't say nothing, is impossible at the moment, but I find it to be very unlikely of the things that it is kind of going for right now.
Sophia?
Yeah, I'm with you, Josh. I feel like, does A24 always pick the right movie in award season? Questionable.
When they only have one.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to say, it's like when the issue is always them not picking just one movie.
Yeah, true. So I think there are so many options for that movie. And I feel like in order for an acting nomination to work, they really need to focus their campaign on one person. Whoever is the most likely person to get that nomination, I think supporting actor right now is far more likely than supporting actress. Not to step on our next category, but yeah, not to be a pessimist, but I just don't see this movie maybe having the long tail that people think it does.
Which is fair. I mean, the movie came out in March, right? It premiered at South by Southwest, and that is a long trek to go. I mean,
Mhm.
I know everyone's going to say, but Coda, but not everything is like that. And that movie felt so new once it got nominated and the screeners were sent out and people started to see it. It was kind of dumped in August. This movie is a hit for its studio. I mean, to be the highest grossing film possibly of your entire studio is saying something, and people are talking about it. But I agree with you, Sophia and Josh. I mean, like, can it keep the momentum? I hope, because it's a very good movie, but it's going to take like us and them campaigning it in A24 over the last couple of years. I mean, they had I thought some pretty easy contending slam dunkers last year with something like Come On in Screenplay even, and they couldn't even do that. And you're talking about they have this, and they have like 3 or 4 films that could be in contention, including The Whale. And so, yeah, I'm a little worried about them, to be honest. And I think most of us are.
Coda's success wasn't the movie; it was the cast, and it was the events that they went to, and the group itself, and people really, really gravitated to that. And that could absolutely happen with the cast of this as well. But yeah, again, you're talking about such a long haul, and A24 would have to be really committed to it.
Yeah. Well, moving over to supporting actor, Erik. I love this piece. This was I believe the first one that you released was supporting actor.
It was, yes.
And right now in the top spot, you have the Riddler himself, Paul Dano. You have the Fablemans in the top spot for both of these. I was kind of surprised by that.
It's, and I know, and sometimes I look at these too individually rather than building up to something, which is more realistic. But like with supporting actress, I have Michelle Williams at number 1. She is going to have a phenomenal year. Mm-hmm. She's going to have showing up at Con in a couple of weeks. She is pregnant. She will be pregnant during award season, and that worked out really good for Natalie Portman. I don't know. She's gonna have a good season, and like her recent interview with Variety was absolutely incredible. Her openness about the industry and her honesty about the industry is fascinating. Her speeches when she won for Fosse Verdon are among all-timers, and we know she is going to do that again. But yes, moving over to supporting actor, I do have Paul Dano, who is playing essentially Spielberg's father in the semi-autobiography of his life. Again, on paper, you start looking at things and like, oh my God, this feels unmissable, but it is May. You never know.
No, for sure. And then following up, just like you did, supporting actress, you have both men for Killers of the Flower Moon there right behind them, in Jesse Plemons and Robert De Niro. Not to say that that's not a bad pick. I mean, like, Jesse Plemons coming off of his nomination, De Niro missing out a couple of years ago for The Irishman, and clearly in what is a book that I have not read the book, but I've heard that all these roles are going to be very, very big and juicy roles. And then also previous winner in 2019, Brad Pitt in there. But Erik, you had an interesting number 5 there. If you want to explain the logic behind number 5, I think everyone will really, maybe everyone everywhere all at once will really like that you have this prediction so far.
I guess. I don't know. This was kind of tough because I don't like to hope dict too much, but at the same time, you're trying to read early tea leaves, you're trying to see potential, and narratives are such an important part of the Oscar race. But every year has multiple narratives. Last year had a dozen. They don't all work out. You have to just figure out what people are going to gravitate to and why. And I think the story of Ke Huy Quan and him being in The Goonies and Indiana Jones, and just like poised to blow up and be, child actor to adult actor that has this great career. And it didn't pan out. He just started in the wrong decade, really. That just was not going to be amenable to an Asian or Asian American star like that. And, he was really deflated by it and left most of acting behind after a few other roles in TV, which he was great in. And his return is exactly the whole argument for representation in media, period. He's only here because he wanted to return after seeing Crazy Rich Asians and just the abundance of Asian representation in films and possibilities. And then he, kind of felt like he could do that again. And I find it such a touching narrative. It is very much about the industry, his narrative. And aside from all that, he's fucking great in the movie. He's the heart of the movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would love to see him get nominated. Plus, I feel like that cast on the circuit throughout the fall will be such a fun cast to hang out with and talk with. They're already fun. And when I was there at South by Southwest, that energy in that room, if you could bottle that up and sell it, we'd be millionaires. It was insane that night. And it's only carried on throughout the success of the film so far. Sophia, is there someone within this supporting actor race that you're going to keep an eye out for and want to hear the reaction for that performance down the road?
Yeah, I have a couple. Two that jump out to me right away. The first is Robert De Niro. Yes, he's won before, but this role in the book, he is playing a despicable human being. This is a meaty, juicy villain role. And sometimes they don't embrace those, but I do feel like that overdue Irishman narrative could be there for him. I also think if we're talking about a performer who is great and well respected, but who hasn't received an Oscar nomination in a very long time, Don Cheadle for White Noise, because I haven't seen a lot of these movies yet. Nobody has. I have to go based on what I know from some of these books. And he plays this professor who is sort of a guide for Adam Driver's character. And while they might not go for the movie all over, it might be a little too heady, I could see them latching on to Don Cheadle. So I will definitely keep an eye on that one.
Josh, is there someone other than Ben Whishaw for Women Talking? Because I know you, my friend, you are dying to talk about that performance and hope predict that Oscar nomination. But is there, well, you could talk about Ben Whishaw, obviously, for sure. We don't have that long of a show, Josh, but are you looking out for his performance in that film? And then are there a couple others as well?
Yeah, well, just to get it out the way, yes, obviously I'm looking forward to Ben Whishaw in Women Talking. And the thing that I also am wondering about that is, because we normally have this phenomenon where if there's a movie with a very predominantly male cast, usually the one woman will get nominated, sort of the Rachel McAdams and Spotlight effect. Yeah. And I wonder if maybe the opposite might happen with this, where it seems like he's going to be the only predominant male cast member here. And, I don't think it's just me. People do like Ben Whishaw. He seems to have some goodwill in the industry. So I think if that's going to be a really big player, he's somebody to keep an eye out on. So yes, I am, trying to be a bit more hopeful about it, but I don't think it's completely unrealistic to have him in the conversation. I am also wondering about Colin Farrell and 13 Lives. Because I think that he is also another one poised to have a really good year. And it's going to depend on how he's going to be campaign in relation with the McDonough film, category placement there. But I feel like it's probably easier to sell him as a lead in the McDonough film, and he can be, the co-lead / supporting character in this one. And then another one, honestly, you probably are going to laugh at me.
I think I know where you're going with this.
But I don't know. I don't think you do. I do actually wonder about Tom Hanks and Elvis.
Okay. That's not where I was going to go.
I know. And I understand that it doesn't look that great right now, but you know, it's still all out of context for the most part, but just in trailers and a clip here or there. And if Austin Butler is as phenomenal as people have been saying he is initially, Tom Hanks is still a movie star. And yeah, he's doing something, but we have seen that it doesn't take much sometimes to just get that nomination. So I actually think he might be a bigger threat in this category than we think he is.
Oh, for sure. Because Colonel Parker is a Sophia, you were talking about Robert De Niro's character in Killers of the Flower Moon. Colonel Parker is a horrible human being.
Yeah.
And it's a very against type for America's dad to be playing a character like this, covered in makeup. We've seen the trailer 9 billion times at this point if you've gone to a movie theater. And it's been a long time since Tom Hanks has been awarded. And I'm just wondering, when is it going to be? Because he is destined to get a third. I think it would probably be for a lead performance, but I mean, whatever. I mean, they love Tom Hanks. I mean, not so much to nominate him for something like Captain Phillips, but that's beside the point. And I think that if the movie, which premieres in a couple of days over at Cannes, if it has good buzz, beyond just the Presley saying that they've seen the film and they think it's great, and they sat through that 2 hours and 40-minute wonderful runtime, then we shall see.
Lerman movie, Ryan.
Yeah, it's definitely that. It's going to be 2 hours and 40 minutes of absolute fun. But anyway, I actually thought Josh was going to go and talk about. Don't shoot me, Josh. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say Russell Crowe in The Greatest Beer Run Ever. And I was like, well, you have it on the list, Eric. And I was like, hey, it's
wow, you
there.
Think that
and
little of me, Ryan. Okay.
I don't know. I was just like, where's he going to go with the wild card? But that is a movie that, hey, we all doubted Green Book before, and we have to put it on the list now, and we have to talk about it. And it's out there. And I wish we didn't have to, but we kind of do.
I think
but
Peter Farrell got very lucky in 2018.
Yeah.
He should just count his blessings.
I'm actually really interested in seeing how Seth Rogen is in The Fabelmans, because that's someone that I thought Seth Rogen was really great in Steve Jobs, and was the only one that didn't, of the three main actors, that didn't get a nomination for that film. It'd be really interesting. He's playing like his uncle in that film, and how he goes alongside Williams and Dano. Maybe that's the secret second nomination, not Killers of the Flower Moon. I will also be interested, and I know that the scoop is out there already that Leo's going lead, but that could change. You never know. Like supposedly it was supposed to be Plymouth that was lead, and now it's being confirmed Leo. So it could flip back. You could have Leo go back in there. I mean, Sophia, you read the book. Is that far-fetched of an idea to think that it could flip back?
I don't think it'll flip back, but I mean, they both, Jesse Plemons and Leonardo DiCaprio, should absolutely be co-leads. Like, there's no question that they should be co-leads. But knowing that they're going to be campaigned this way, I think makes sense from an awards perspective, for sure, to just put Leo there and have Jesse Plemons have the stronger run in supporting, because I do think, Leo's character, I mean, yeah, both of them belong in lead. I have a question for you guys about this movie, though. I mean, Scorsese takes forever in post. Do we know that this is coming this year?
Oh yeah, I think it's coming.
I thought it already was, because Apple seemed pretty secure that it would.
Okay.
But the moment that Emancipation got pulled off in 2022, I could say easily. Well, yes, easily.
Say it. Put your heart into it.
Yeah. I think it's absolutely a 2022 release now, because they were going to have to really make some choices for a very new streaming service in the Oscar race. No matter that they just won, they won. I mean, I'm not, trying to overly criticize Kore-eda, but they kind of fumbled into the Oscar race. It wasn't a huge created thing. It just kind of happened. It started organically, and then it just happened. Yeah. And now they have very traditional Oscar contenders and have to mount those kinds of campaigns. And
as front runners too.
Yep, as front runners. Yeah, everyone's going to be looking at Apple with a very different eye this year. I mean, at least us and people that are following the race. It's going to be there's a lot of scrutiny, sophomore scrutiny.
Yeah, no, for sure. I also think Glenn Turman and Rustin too. That's someone who that Rustin cast. I think that could be a big time player for Netflix. I think SAG Ensemble is big time on the table for that one.
I mean, I have him on my list, but we got kind of a little bit burned by Ma Rainey and potentially able to get supporting performances in there too, including Glenn Turman. So I mean, he's on my list, but I'm being cautiously optimistic.
The one I'm really curious about seeing is Poor Things, and seeing
I think I have him at 6.
And seeing if that movie is awards friendly or just batshit insane. Which I'm up for either one because of Lanthimos, but why not? But well, I would hope so, but I know The Favorite seems weirdly enough more traditional than something like Killing of a Sacred Deer. And so are we getting that, or are we getting sort of Favorite vibes? And it'll be interesting. I believe what is it? McNamara is writing the script for that, right? And it's Emma Stone and Defoe, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, again, at least from an Oscar perspective, there's going to be Oscar follow-up scrutiny. And there's a lot of people that are going to be under that magnifying glass this season.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's supporting actress. Eric, what do you have on the docket this week? What are you going to do, actor and best actress this week? Is that
I think so. I haven't even started either. So, because we've got a whole bunch of Emmy stuff coming out this week.
Yeah.
But yes, I will do a best actor and best actress this week. But I don't know, in terms of a preview.
I mean, we can hold off on it, I think, until the coming
Let's talk
weeks.
next week, because I'll have something.
Yeah, you'll have something written down, and it will be more cemented. Yeah, exactly. Let's just tease them and everything, and you know what? We might as well.
We're just gonna keep edging you all the way to Oscars.
We have a long season to go. Talking about these two categories are good enough as it is, and I think everyone's just going to be on pins and needles from this point. But we do have our listener questions, and then we're gonna have some fun games, so we can just go right into those. We got all of the the chores out of the way, talking about Erik and his pieces. All of a sudden, now we can actually have some fun around here. Rick Friero asks, how do you get younger people interested in the Academy Awards? Now I'll ask Josh and Sophia first, since asking Erik is like asking the person that does Tales of the Crypt. So Josh, I'll ask you, how does the Academy go forward? Because the ratings went up a little bit, but it didn't go nearly back up to like the 20 million viewers that they had even before the pandemic. So how do they get the viewership back up?
I think if I had to say what I think would be the best, it comes down to the host, because I think that whatever happens, like really during the show, I mean, I'm unique where I don't really care personally, but I really feel like having the host gives you that opportunity to build up that momentum for just tuning in the first place. And I think if they had somebody who was appealing to that demographic, that would actually do most of the work in getting them to actually watch the show live. Because otherwise, they just do what everybody else does. They wait till it's over, they hear about the winners, and they watch the speeches on YouTube. But if you had, Tom Holland and Zendaya up there saying, hey, we're going to host this show, they would actually tune in for that, I would think.
Sophia?
Yeah, I agree about the host. Also, I think we need to plan ahead here. We know today that these Oscars are happening March 12th, 2023. Why are we waiting until a couple of weeks in advance to make key decisions related to the show. It makes absolutely no sense. So plan ahead and you can get great hosts like Zendaya and Tom Holland that can bring people in. I feel like that's a big thing that I just will never understand about this organization. Another thing is that young people are not stupid. They can see that you are embarrassed of this organization, of this awards show, that you don't know what it is, that you're pulling your hosts and your presenters and your TikTokers and whoever together at the last minute to do something completely unrelated to movies. There are tons of young people who love movies too, and they will come. I really think there are some other changes that can happen, right? You could add different categories. You could reveal the votes, things that may never happen that would make it obviously more entertaining. But I feel like just plan ahead and don't be embarrassed of yourselves, Ampus.
Yeah. No, Erik, I think that those are some great options, but I mean, you've been there since the beginning, since the first Academy Awards, Erik. So I'm just curious what you think that the Academy should do in terms of some changing for younger viewers, those younger whippersnappers, as you call them.
I mean, I could just say verbatim what Sophia just said. It is insane how late all of the announcements were last season. And makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, you have your date, you have everything that you need. Lock in your hosts now. Lock in segments and stuff now. Just go ahead and do it. This is the reason why they couldn't get, like Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and Martin Short because of scheduling. And that would have been absolutely perfect and fun and crossing generations, entertaining, all of the great things.
Corporate synergy too, promoting another show on Hulu. Like it would have filled all the criteria.
Well, but see, and that's what they kind of already did with those three hosts. And that's something we always have to be aware of, that they are going to pick hosts with synergy to the brand. Amy Schumer had her Hulu show that had just premiered. Wanda Sykes was on Blackish, which is ABC. And even Regina Hall has a movie that was at Sundance, which is going to be on Hulu. So you just have, they're locked into that in a way that reduces at least, our ability to, kind of guess who's going to host. So unless it's somebody completely outside of the Disney family, which is unlikely at this point, go ahead and find them now, pick them now. Take something that's coming out, in December and capitalize on it. It's insane to me that they could not pull together the Zendaya Tom Holland thing. That would have been huge. But I think I have other things, but my God, it's again, like Sophia said, don't be ashamed of your show for one. That is the worst. They do need to make better use of social media that people are actually using. So yes, TikTok is a great place to do that, but you have to do it in a way that isn't, how do you do, kids? You have to make it kind of just cool and fun and weird, or advertise to the group that you want to advertise to based on where you're at. If you want to advertise on Facebook for the Oscars, make it for fucking Gen Xers and boomers. Advertise on TikTok in a different way. It's not rocket science to advertise differently for the thing that you want. It's kind of ridiculous. And yes, I did kind of joke during Eurovision that they should do live votes and stuff. And my friend Jorge Molina did too. And it just sort of was like building of like, you have somebody go on stage, the editing branch gives 12 points to da. They would never do that.
No.
But I think there is a place between where they are now and that they could actually have some fun and engagement. And ultimately, engagement is the key of all of it.
I think that there needs to be, like you all three said, a celebration of cinema, but there also needs to be an anticipation of cinema. And you guys said Zendaya and Tom Holland. Well, there's only one producer in the world that seemed to put them in a movie together. And he works for Disney. So I'm going to say this. might want to call Kevin Feige because
to produce the Oscars.
Because the most popular franchise in the world is the damn MCU, and people churn themselves. He also loves Star Wars, so you can promote your Star Wars stuff. I'm saying this because of the standpoint is people go crazy for any sort of little thing that we just had at like Comic-Con and CinemaCon. Do presentation.
That was a cursed statement. First.
Yeah, I'm like, are we
you
sure?
You gotta do something. So have him go if not have him produce it, let him go up there and give a presentation. Let him do the next slate of Marvel movies. Let him have the first look at the new Blade film or the next, Guardians of the Galaxy. Let James Cameron go up there and show us the third trailer for Avatar, which just blew a bunch of records. Let us also, in that same time period, this could have been a perfect opportunity for Apple to go up there and say, here's Killers of the Flower Moon, the first look of that, or something like that. Make this not just about this year's films, but about next year's. Have it also be that you can't have any of these trailers go online, just like Avatars did for an entire week. It worked out and it got tons of people invested in talking about it. That is kind of a way to do it and to get people excited about those films that are not going to get nominated for Best Picture in some of those categories, for you to get that audience in there that is actually interested in them. Yes, a host will work, but also too, Sophia's right. We've had it planned out and we've had hosts before that backed out the last second in the past. I don't necessarily know if the host is going to be the number one thing because they had 20 million viewers in 2018 and 2019 when they didn't have a host. Now the numbers were still going down, but I think we also have to be aware that this is an evolving landscape. They have to embrace, I think, like TikTok, YouTube, have it stream live somewhere, not make it look like it's desperate. Don't make fun of the damn films that are nominated. That's so tired. And like, last thing I would want is if I'm, a director of a film and I'm nominated for 10 or 11 Oscars and my whole team's there and we're winning, but then you also say, your movie's boring and nobody wanted to watch it. Like, that's the dumbest thing you can do for a brand. Cause then people are like, oh, well, then they're right. These are terrible. Why am I watching this? And the number one thing also about the Oscars is the best moments are the most spontaneous moments. You can't create moments. So stop trying to create moments. Like, no one could have predicted Will Smith was going to slap Chris Rock. Nobody could predict it. The Moonlight La La Land thing. Nobody could predicted. Yeah,
but those aren't things that we want.
No,
they get talked about, but then they overshadow everything else. Those aren't the things we want.
Well, I'm just saying is that
that's not good spontaneity.
I think also too, we just might have to get into the world where we're not going to get back to 20 million people ever again. And then we have to kind of just sit back and think about that.
It's possible. They just didn't make a good show, though.
Yeah. Well, get somebody and get a producer. Sorry, Steven Spielberg or Steven Soderbergh and Will Packer. That actually seems like they know what they're doing. Like, I think Erik and I talked about this when it happened this year, but the Grammys put on a really good show because they understand what they are. They know who they're going to have there. They planned it out months at a time. They had Trevor Noah, who, say would, if you like this version of Daily Show or not, but he's very popular amongst all, and he works for CBS and Viacom with Comedy Central. So it moved by and it ended on time, which is something that they're like desperately searching for when we all know the Oscars are going to go over and we just got to get used to it. Maybe bump it up an hour, 2, maybe not make it so late.
Well, I mean,
these are things you could do.
These are the same arguments, recommendations that we make every single year. And it's yelling at a brick wall at this point.
Yeah. So at that point, it's not going to change. And there's not really any. Erik's saying nothing's going to change.
Well,
you can put it on a billboard.
So after this year's Oscars, part of the reason why I felt so disillusioned was that it felt like I called it a Disney corporate retreat. And I feel like that is sort of what you described, what needs to happen. I'm like picturing the Waystar Royco board meeting, that whole thing in succession as the Oscars. And I don't think we want that.
I mean, we don't want that. But the question was to get younger viewers in there. not to get
mean,
more,
I think
I don't like it either, Sophia, but
okay. Well, I think a huge problem too is that when the Oscars happen so late, and it isn't just a date thing, it's with all of these ceremonies leading up to it, they sort of lose their luster a little bit. It's like, we know what's going to happen because the people who are already into this, whether you're, any age really, it's like you can follow the Globes and the SAG Awards and all these little guild awards, so much so that by the time the Oscars roll around, it's like, okay, here we are. We know what's going to happen. And that's no fun. You do want that anticipation there and it to be a bit unpredictable. And I think a good way, maybe not necessarily for young people to come in, but to fix it a little bit is if everyone votes at the same time for everything.
No.
Vote at the
right.
same time.
Yeah.
Same day, same window.
So much. So no one's looking at each other's homework.
Yep. Yeah. That includes you, Critics' Choice.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and to that point, we are probably going to have a second year in a row without the Globes as a televised program. I think so. Yes. They continue and they're like shopping out, their worst wares. And we also now know that as a part of the Warner Brothers Discovery shakeup, the SAG Awards are gone from TNT and TBS now. So they're going to have to find a new home as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Critics' Choice right now is just like, woohoo, like Scrooge McDuck and their big pile of money. That's probably what Joey Berlin is doing right now. I'm like super, super excited that all of these shows are falling aside and now Critics' Choice can rise to the place that they want to be.
That hurts, right, Josh? That just hurts a little bit.
Oh, God, yeah. I hate them so much. But the one thing that I will say about what you were talking about earlier, Ryan, is that I do think that there is an opportunity to kind of build up trailer premieres, because we do have exclusive trailers that show up during the Oscars, but I feel like we never hear about them until it happens. Mm-hmm. And I think that maybe they made a little bit more of an effort to say, hey, watch the Oscars and you'll get to see clips from the next Marvel movie. Like, that's fine. It would get people interested to actually watch the show then and not just find out about it the next day afterwards.
100%.
Yeah. Play them in the theater too. Get people's reactions in the theater as well.
Did you know that there used to be a stipulation that you could not show a trailer during the Oscars that featured anyone that was nominated that year?
Well, we'd be screwed now, wouldn't we? So
that was a long time ago, but I'm just like,
Disney looks at that and is like,
challenge accepted. Yeah, about that. Thank you, Rick, for that question.
I love that was all for one question.
That's one question.
So for one question, everybody.
Yeah. Some of these will be a little bit quicker. So Ethan May wants to know, as Cannes starts this week, what's one film everybody is curious about when the reactions come in? Maybe not your most anticipated film, but reactions.
Elvis for me. It's Elvis.
Okay.
100%.
Elvis for me too. Part of me wants to say like Decision to Leave, but I want to go into those blind. Elvis, I need to know everything. What people think, if it's good, bad, over the top, all of it.
Yep.
Josh?
I'm going to say something different. I'm actually going to say 3,000 Years of Longing.
That's exactly what I was
so curious to see what the reactions to that are going to be.
I have such a bad feeling about that movie.
I do too, and I want to know if I'm going to be proven wrong or not.
I also feel like it could be a big mess, and it's one of those like everybody hates it, and I'm like, actually, I think it's not that bad. You know what I mean? So, and I also feel like boos could happen. Also interested in hearing about the reactions for Crimes of the Future and seeing if Cronenberg is correct and that there are walkouts.
Well, I mean, that's one where I don't care what the reactions
are.
No,
I don't care either.
See it anyway. So.
I just want to see everyone be like, I gasped and I fainted and all this stuff when I saw a movie. You know what I mean? So
I'll say this. I don't think it does a movie any favors when especially its director is amping it up with, oh yes, there's going to be walkouts in the first 5 minutes and people are going to hate this movie. That is the weirdest kind of promotion that sets it up to fail. And I think I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want it. So Andrew Dominic and David Cronenberg, just stop talking about your movies.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Anyway, so Jasmine Graham wants to know, what do you think of the early releases can sustain the buzz till Oscar season? Frankly, at this point,
Only one answer.
yeah, it's Top Gun Maverick, baby. Danger zone. Let's go. Yeah, because that actually, Eric, that ties into another question that Amy Smith wants to ask us. What do you make of the Best Picture buzz for Top Gun Maverick, and what do you think the film can get nomination-wise on its best day? And I asked this one specifically for you because you and I heads almost exploded when we saw that everyone was talking about that for Best Picture this week. So, but to answer the other question,
down about this, I don't even know if I want to say because it's kind of mean, but I'm so annoyed by it.
Do it.
Okay. I wrote my answers for all the questions.
Okay.
So I said it feels very clout chasey and engagement thirsty.
There you go.
To say it.
Parched.
That's what I think.
Okay.
And the justifications that people are using are even worse. Mad Max Fury Road won 6 Oscars and it came out in May.
Cool.
I'm just, man, come on.
Yeah, and I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is the one film that can sustain it.
That's obviously the answer.
Yeah, unless anybody has anything else, any other film that they think could. That's released.
No. Yeah, I mean, Top Gun will be a below the line player for sure, but I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm still doubtful that it would sustain any kind of reasonable buzz to a Best Picture lineup.
No, we'll talk about it in 2 weeks when the movie comes out.
I'll eat my shoe.
Yeah, if that happens, then wow, we had a weak year. I think that not to say that the movie's bad or anything. I'm like, if we are doing this for Top Gun Maverick, why didn't we do this for another Tom Cruise property in Mission Impossible for the last couple of years? When Fallout and Road Nation and those movies were critically successful and massive box office players.
To be honest, I think it's really coming off of the fact that people were genuinely shocked at how much they liked it. And that's great. I missed my screening and I wish I had been able to go. I really, really want to see it. But, how far does nostalgia carry a story? We're barely kind of scraping 90s and 2000s nostalgia right now. Do we have 1986 nostalgia for one of the most jingoistic movies of the 80s? I don't think we do. So I think a lot of it's coming from that. A lot of it's coming from people being super surprised and happy that it's as good as it is.
Which, to be fair, was the same reaction to Fury Road.
Yeah.
In different circumstances for sure. But I feel like a lot of people went into Fury Road thinking the fourth Mad Max movie after the last one was so long ago. What are we doing here? And, and I don't think people expected to like that movie as well either. But I do think very different set of circumstances between those two films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think too, I haven't seen Top Gun Maverick yet, so I can't make that many judgments about it. But just knowing the history of sequels in Best Picture, it's pretty rare that sequels break in. And this year we have The Son as a follow-up to The Father and Avatar 2. So I feel like this is firmly in third right now.
I love that. I love that, Sophia. Thank you. All right. These are kind of two similar questions, but we'll answer them all together. As Matt St. Clair asked, although Candace just days away because Broker just got acquired by Neon, congratulations, Neon. The festival has become something of a bellwether in the best director category lately. Could Kore-eda be this year's Vinterberg, Hamaguchi, Paolo Valakowski? And Jacob Thornberry also asked, of these two, who has a better shot in international director right now, Park Chan-wook or Kore-eda? Anybody want to go first?
Well, those are the two that I would suspect most of us are looking at the moment. If I had to pick one, I do lean a little bit more towards Park Chan-wook with Decision to Leave, but I don't know for sure. We haven't even seen these movies yet, and we don't know what the reactions are going to be. But if you're just looking at a trend, and I'm going to just say which one I think might fulfill it, I will say Park Chan-wook for right now.
I'm gonna go with Kore-eda because Movie picked up Decision to Leave. Neon picked up Broker, and that could, when it comes down to it, but also too Janus Films, whatever the hell that damn thing is. Criterion Collection basically picked up Drive My Car and got it nominated for Best Picture. So we're living in a world where anything can happen. Sophia?
I have Kore-eda also, similar to, I think you said that, Ryan. Sorry, it's very late here.
That's okay.
Mainly because Broker as a movie, the topic is so interesting. It's about baby boxes where people can drop off their infants anonymously and other people can care for them, which I feel like is very much like in the Academy's type of drama, as opposed to a thriller, which like they didn't embrace The Handmaiden, which I loved. So I'm hoping that Park Chan-wook can get in as well. Maybe there's room for two. Maybe we stop talking about just one international director slot. Maybe we talk about more. But I think I'm leaning. Yeah. So I think I'm leaning towards Broker now.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear anything Sophia said. She started talking about what that movie might be, and I'm trying to go in blind.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Eric, you have.
I echo a lot of that. I think there is potential for both, but the two factors that I'm looking at most importantly are what they win at Cannes. Obviously, if it's a major prize, but even more than that, which film South Korea picks to represent it, because they're both going to go up against each other.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really, really tough. Mm-hmm. And I would say if on May 15th, a contest between Neon and Movie, that I would go with Neon to be able to pull that out. But that's going to be a major factor, I think.
Yeah.
Which of those gets picked? Because when we're looking at the films that have transcended and gotten into picture or director or both, that's where they're coming from.
If I'm also not mistaken, they did not pick The Handmaiden when it came out, correct?
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Yeah, and obviously Shoplifter was nominated, so that's,
which makes me wonder: is there a possibility that Broker could be selected by Japan? I don't know what the financing of that movie is, but it's a Japanese director. I'm not 100% sure what the production was like.
I looked at it and that's possible, but I think they're both going to be seen as Korean based. I don't know. That could be tough if they can wiggle out of that. All the better for both.
Yes,
because I think that's the thing that's going to hurt.
We don't want to choose
one or the other.
Well, I mean, because I don't know, because maybe one of those countries wouldn't want like in the case of Broker, would South Korea want their submission being representative of a Japanese director? Would Japan feel like they would want claim to that? I don't know. That's an interesting political question going into the awards race, which international feature always is. Interesting political questions.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty fascinated by it. But I mean, whatever shakes out with the winners on the 28th is where I'm gonna zero in.
Yeah. Next question comes from Mark Johnson over at Awards Daily. Hi, Mark. He asks, "What's first-time directors' films are you looking forward to seeing the most this year?" I have no idea, Mark, because most of them I've either seen or I haven't seen. So. Because of Sundance and South by and all those. But do you guys have any? I can go look them up and see which ones I have seen. Sophia?
I don't have any. It's also sort of hard to find online. Not going to lie. I did a quick Google for this and not much was coming up. I usually just go into a first feature really blind because it's hard to anticipate them unless it's an actor, like turn director. And a lot of those I've already heard some feedback around, and I'm not sure I'm anticipating them anymore.
Like what?
Like the Jesse Eisenberg film.
Oh, yeah.
no,
It's all right.
It's not good.
There we go. So I don't have an answer.
You didn't miss much there.
Yeah, the only thing that I was thinking of, and it's because it was one of the only ones that came up in my very limited research, was the movie Riley Keough is directing. It's going to be at Cannes. You know, I don't know that much about it, but I like her. I think she's an interesting performer, and I'm curious to see what that translates as a, her skills as a director. So no anticipation or expectation really of that movie, but very curious for sure.
Yeah,
I think that's an awesome pick. Obviously, I'm going with James Cameron. You probably have not heard of him.
Son of a
Very up and
bitch.
coming.
Son of a bitch.
So keep an eye out for him, just in case. No, I do have one pick, and it's sort of threading the needle here, because it's their first feature, but not their first feature film narrative, but not their first film. And I'm curious about Jimmy Chin and Elizabeth Chai Farrell and Naiad. I'm always fascinated when documentarians go into feature films.
Yeah.
And so I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, there are a couple documentaries that I saw over at South by Southwest that have no prospects of landing as of right now. Release dates from anyone. No one's picked them up yet. But when they do, I'll sing the praises of two films that are called, one's called Bad Axe and the other one is called Crows Are White, which are extraordinary documentaries. But other than that, yeah, narratives, it's kind of hard.
I think Dev Patel has a movie, a directorial debut.
Does he?
Oh,
I should know about
yeah.
that. I should know about that.
I'll try to see that for sure.
Yeah, well, I think we'll all see that.
Well, I need him to be in it too, though.
Or like
It's very
doing a
important.
Q&A afterwards.
Yeah,
Something
in
like
it,
that.
in
Yeah.
it, and not many clothes. You know what I mean? Hey! This is a family show.
Family show.
Just show us those scenes from the Green Knight. Anyway,
Yeah, one perfect
last
shot.
exactly. More ways than one, right, Josh? Anyway, Kinsey Vanunu asks, "What's a film that will most likely get 0 Oscar nominations, but you'd love to see it get something? Doesn't matter if you've seen the film yet or not."
The Northman, Kenzie, the Northman.
Yeah, we all know you want us to say
Oh
the
my
Northman.
God. You're leading us right to it.
I mean, After Yang is my favorite
Yeah.
film of the year.
I
right
know,
now,
I'm
and
just-
that movie is not going to get diddly squat.
It is
Mar-
not.
Marcel the Shell too.
Yeah.
The movie's so
After
damn
Yang
charming.
After Yang is my serious answer, but my fun answer is Marry Me. I wanted to get an original song nomination for J-Lo because
I'd be here for that.
we have some song contenders coming that I'm not quite sure about the songs or if I want to see some of them nominated. So I'm all for a fun J-Lo nom.
We already have a song contender that we have heard, and it's a flop. So
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
it's not good.
Marcel the Shell is Dean Fleischer Camp's directorial debut, so technically that does count. So
Oh.
I would say Marcel the Shell for
it's
Mark's
also
question.
A24.
It's also A24, and it's really, really damn good. It's
I
really
truly
good.
Can't believe I said Marry Me. Please take that back. Edit it out.
Nope. Too bad. So sad. Josh, anything for you?
I think I have to. I think I got to shout out RRR. I think I got to.
Yeah.
Because that's not coming anywhere near the Oscars. But my God, does it deserve recognition in all of those crafts, especially?
Yeah. Emma Thompson for Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. She's so good in that movie, and I love
I'm
that
so
movie.
excited
Well,
to see that.
I mean, the thing about that though is that it's going straight to Hulu and it's not getting a
Yeah, is
Yeah,
it going to
they
be
were gonna
TV?
qualify.
So it's going to count as TV?
Yeah, it'll be a TV movie.
Shit.
So upset.
I am too. I'm not really happy with these straight to
rules.
Hulu releases that Searchlight is doing. I think it's unfortunate, but at the same time, like Searchlight has a lot of other films, and I know they're trying to, I guess capitalize the best way that they can. So like Leo Grande and Fire Island are TV movies because they're never going to be
So-
in theaters and other than film festivals, obviously.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all of our listener questions for this week. So it's now time for everyone's favorite part of the show. We're going to play some games. All right.
Mhm.
Last week, we played a game called Awards Watch or Not, and we pitted Marvel films and the cast of Doctor Strange together. This week, we're pitting Eric Anderson's top 10 lists of the last 2 years up against each other, and you guys all have to play along and figure out which ones of these 1 through 10s were better in one year or the other. So we will go Sophia, Josh, and then Eric, and then myself. So Sophia, we'll go.
My own game. That's like cannibalism.
It's as fun. I loved it.
I was not made aware, by the way, for all of you listeners, that I would be doing this in this way for this. So I'm basically being held hostage to do this.
Oh, just shut up and play along so we can play both games. All right. Thank you. All right. Sophia, Josh, Eric, then myself. So we'll go from 10 to 1. All right. That's what we'll do. All right. So are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Right. Awards Watch or Not, Eric Anderson's Taste Edition. All right. His number 10 film for 2020 was Lovers Rock. His number 10 film for 2021 was Quo Vadis, Aida. Which one would you pick, Sophia?
Lovers Rock for me.
All right. All right. Josh?
I would pick Quo Vadis, Aida.
Yeah. Eric, which one of these darlings would you kill? Which, by the way, the rule of this game is that whichever one you pick, the other one doesn't exist anymore. So just that's that's the added bonus.
Oh.
Not even in a multiverse. It just
no more multiverses. No, hot dog fingers or anything.
Okay, then Lovers Rock.
Okay. Quo Vadis, Aida. That's actually a movie.
Nobody asked you.
Yeah. His number 9 film of 2020 was The Assistant. And his number 9 film of 2021 was Barben Stargo da Vista del Mar. Sophia.
To me again. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're going in that order.
Definitely Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Josh.
That is very difficult, actually. It really is.
I know. I said definitely, but it is hard.
I think I am going to pick The Assistant, though, just because I was so mad at how just tossed aside that movie was when it was so smart, and it deserves more praise. And as much as I do love Barb and Star, not that I could live without it, but it's a little easier to push it aside and keep The Assistant when I think that movie is kind of a secret masterpiece that more people need to talk about.
Yeah. Eric, which one would you pick?
This is actually super difficult because if there ever was an apples to oranges comparison,
that's why this is a fun game.
But I think I might be in agreement with Josh because Barb and Star, I love it more than anything in the world. It was also exactly what you knew it was going to be. Although Jamie Dornan is such an amazing, just breakout comedian. Okay. But The Assistant is such a sneaky sleeper. It's really unassuming, which lends to how insidious everything that's happening is. Because you're almost kind of like her, where you're just going through it and you're not realizing how bad it is until you're really in it. And it was icky and uncomfortable and absolutely fascinating. And I'm surprised, but I think I'm picking The Assistant.
Okay. I'm picking Barb and Star to go to Vista Del Mar and to break the tie.
Oh, good.
The 5th person that picks Barb and Star Vista Del Mar is Trish. So, so go to hell.
All right,
fair. His number 8 film of 2020 was Wolfwalkers, and his number 8 film of 2021 was The Lost Daughter. Sophia.
Oh, picking one to eliminate. This is really hard because I do really love both of these, but
easy.
I'm going with Wolfwalkers. I think it should have won, and I love the hand-drawn animation. Maggie Gyllenhaal will make a great second feature. I know. She will.
Technically, it would be in that scenario would be her first at that point. But Josh.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit easier for me. I am going to pick Wolfwalkers. I like The Lost Daughter. I thought it was good, but Wolfwalkers was just so special. I really adore that movie.
All right, Eric. Quickly this time. Which one do you pick?
The Lost Daughter.
Okay. Well,
I'm obsessed with it. I think it's incredible, and I love Wolfwalkers.
yeah.
Obviously,
I'm going with Wolfwalkers, and think how we
course
can
you
finally
are.
get the Lost Daughter thrown in the can. Anyway, his number 7 film of 2020 was The Vast of Night. Remember when that thing existed? And his number 7 film of 2021 was The Green Knight. So he had Knights. He had Knights on the mind there at number 7. Sophia?
I love The Green Knight.
Yeah.
One of the 5-star films of last year for me. So I have to choose this one. Vast of Night, though, was a unique viewing experience for me. I didn't know anything going into it, and I really like it, but has to be The Green Knight.
Josh?
Yeah, it's good Green Knight.
Okay.
No comment.
Yeah. Eric?
this is not even close. It's The Green Knight,
Yeah. Green Knight was my favorite film of last year.
even with
All right.
Alicia Vikander being as bad as she is in it.
Oh, Eric.
Sorry.
Another actress would have killed that part.
Yep.
Instead, she
Or at
killed
least
the
acted
part.
in it.
All right. All right.
Nope.
His number 6 film of 2020 was And Then We Danced. His number 6 film of 2021 was Pig. Sophia.
I would go with Pig.
Okay.
And Then We Danced is also great, but
Yeah.
the Nicolas Cage performance, another film that caught me by surprise. I really loved it.
Josh.
I want to go with And Then We Danced.
Yeah. All right. Eric.
This was actually pretty tough. You know I love Pig.
Yep.
I love Pig.
Well, yeah.
Shut up. But yeah, I'm going with And Then We Danced as well. I
Okay.
thought it was absolutely beautiful.
I'm going with Pig. Billboard.
Oh, really?
Quote on the back of the Blu-ray, all that
Oh.
stuff. You know why.
Now we know why you picked
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah.
Pretends to
Oh,
be
wait till we do the other round of this. Number 5 films, 2020, 2021. Minari versus Drive My Car. Wow, Eric.
Shut up. This is not my fault.
Just wait till the next one. Yeah.
I hate you so much.
I'm gonna go with Drive My Car.
Josh.
I mean, Drive My Car was my favorite movie last year, like
Yeah,
obviously.
right?
And I like Minari a lot, but,
yeah. Minari's
but
great.
Drive My Car was my number one. I have to pick it.
Yeah, Eric.
Maybe closer than I would expect, but Drive My Car.
For Nick Rockrop, Drive My Car. His favorite movie of all time.
Damn.
2020, 2021 Awards Watch or Not. His number 4 films were Promising Young Woman versus The Worst Person in the World. Like literally, they're really syncing up now, Eric. You're really doing a great job. Sophia, go.
Easiest one yet, The Worst Person in the World.
Yes.
Yeah, worst person in the world.
Eric.
You
You know what to pick here. That's the correct film. Come on. Oh shit. Yeah, I know
No.
what you're gonna do.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm picking Promising Young Woman.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna do it.
I love it. I think it's pretty flawless.
Hmm.
I know I love Worst Person.
Hmm.
Obviously,
it's the-
they're
it's
in
the-
my top 5.
It's the worst person in the world.
I know.
Amply titled after our editor in chief.
I knew
All right.
I was the outlier, and I'm
His number 3s. First Cow or The Power of the Dog. Sophia.
2 films I love, but
Oh.
it has to be my number 1 movie of this year, The Power of the Dog.
Yeah. Josh.
This is actually closer than I think one would expect for me. I think I'm actually going to say First Cow. I really liked that movie, and I liked it
Yeah.
a lot more than I expected to. And
Yeah.
there's just a sweetness to that movie that's so effective. I think I'm gonna give that one the slight edge.
Yeah, that's a good one. Eric, it's you.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously, I love both of these movies very, very much. And I agree with Josh. I think that First Cow is so alarmingly sweet. The domesticity in it is just, it's beautiful. It's so romantic.
Oh, yeah.
And then Power of the Dog, a very different kind of domesticity and a
Romantic.
different kind of queerness as well.
Quit stalling and pick.
No, I will not. We actually have time. This is very hard. These are pitting
I know.
two directors I absolutely love against each
Two
other.
female directors making westerns that probably Sam Elliott doesn't like.
God. They're so different. Power of the Dog.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
Power of the Dog. Though
Yeah.
I do love an oily cake. Who
Yeah.
doesn't?
Who doesn't love an oily cake?
I'm not going to go any further with you there. I'm not going any further with you there. His number twos. Number twos. Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, or Spencer.
It has to be Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. We need that movie now more than ever.
Damn right we do. Josh.
Yeah,
Is that your
Although
number
within-
one movie of that year, Josh?
no, actually, what's interesting is that both of these movies were my number 3 on
Oh,
my
okay.
2020 and 2021 list.
When we play that game for you, Josh,
Yeah, so
we'll come back to this one.
but I do think I have to say Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always.
Yeah.
Uh,
What are you picking?
uh,
What are you picking, poster boy?
Mhm.
What's your name on the poster and everything? Mr.
Editor.
Viral Tweet.
I'll be
Greatest
quiet.
performance of
Be
all
quiet.
time.
Oh my God. I don't know. This is hard because I look at this as does my emotional reaction to Spencer make it a better movie than it is, or does it just make it a favorite of mine? So I think I'm going to try and remove the concept of best
Mhm.
in a way that just allows me to answer, I don't know, with my gut.
Mhm.
And I think I will go with Spencer for that. But oh my God, both of these
Yeah.
movies. And Sophie's absolutely right. This is a movie that needs to make a resurgence in a real way.
Sure. I'm going Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. His number ones. Nomadland or Flea.
Mm. I forgot how much you love Flea. I just did. I didn't mean that to sound like it did.
Shade.
Yeah, that did come across very shady.
That was that was some
I'll take
shade.
it from Sophia any day.
No, Flea is great, but I will pick Nomadland. I felt like that was the movie of that year, all about isolation. I love Frances McDormand's win, Chloe Zhao's win, of course. So I will keep that one. But I love what Flea did for animation, documentary, everything like that.
Josh.
I have to agree. I do really like Flea also. I think it's a very good film, but Nomadland is sort of one of those movies that is calibrated for me to really respond to. Just her filmmaking and storytelling and those performances and the way that it looks. Still not over it, losing cinematography, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah, that movie is just all kinds of beautiful. So I got to go with Nomadland.
Eric, quickly.
I'm not going to go quickly. I'm just looking at my top fives in both
These
years.
episodes go so long, and then I wonder
I'm
why.
looking at what time it is. We have time. No, I'm just noticing how, very queer dominated and female directing dominated my top fives are. Go fucking figure. Oh God, I had such emotional reactions to both of these movies. Just deeply emotional. But I am gonna go with Flea. I don't know. That moment in the club, I think about that all the time.
I picked Nomadland, like movie of that moment, movie of 2020. Deserved to win Best Picture for sure. We're gonna do a quick other round of Awards Watch or Not. This is where, see, Eric, all things are fair. We're gonna do my top 10s from those 2 same years as well. So
oh my God, we have run out of time.
Yeah. Right when he was done talking. No, we're gonna do mine real quick. All right. So Awards Watch or Not, Ryan McQuaid's trash takes. Here we go. Sophia, Josh, shut up. The take? Anyway, Sophia, Josh, Eric, then I'll be the final decision maker on my own list. So my number 10s were Boy State or In the Heights.
I will go with Boy State.
Yeah.
Fantastic documentary.
Love that movie.
Blew me away.
Josh?
Same. I will go with Boy State.
Eric?
Boy State, and it's not even close.
I do love In the Heights a lot, but Boy State is a right now, especially in my state, very fucking important movie that everyone needs to watch so that we don't repeat a lot of the shit that happens in that movie. So
yeah, I was about to say, like, it is very relevant, but does not paint an optimistic portrait of that state and its leadership.
Nope, because nothing else down here really is optimistic. My number 9s, The Nest or A Hero.
The Nest, all day, every day. Love The Nest. Carrie Coon forever.
Yeah.
Driving in her car, smoking her cigarette to a heart song. Perfection.
Dancing in that nightclub. Talk about a nightclub scene. My God.
Yes.
Yeah. Josh?
I know that this has been kind of tainted because of stuff that's come out about the movie, but I have to be honest that in the moment I was watching it, I was just riveted.
That movie's captivating.
I was. Really, and like I know that it's got baggage now, but I can't deny how I felt when I first saw that movie, and I have to pick it.
Okay. Eric?
The Nest.
Yeah.
It was in my top 10 so many times. Yeah, it absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Nest, but I agree with you, Josh. Like, I don't, and it's not really the controversy or anything that's surrounded. Like, I just like The Nest a little bit more, but Hero is
that's a good movie too. I like The
fantastic.
Nest a lot.
Yeah. My number 8s, I Carry You With Me or Pig.
I will go with Pig again.
Okay, Josh.
This is close, but I think I will also go with Pig.
Okay, Eric.
This is difficult.
Yeah. It's a good one. I'm proud of myself.
They're both great.
Yeah.
I was impressed what a white woman was able to do with this story. I'll say that.
Very personal story for her. She knows the 2 subjects.
I know. That's why it was successful, I think. Oh my God.
Heidi Ewing.
But I think Pig squeaks by.
God damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pig. I fucking hate you for that. My number 7s. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm Thinking of Ending Things or The Power of the Dog. Sophia.
Oh wow. Definitely The Power of the Dog for me.
Josh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Power of the Dog.
Eric.
Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog, though. Power of the Dog doesn't have a killer Robert Zemeckis joke. So there's that. Number 6. Dick Johnson Is Dead or Titan.
A little closer for me. I did really like Dick Johnson Is Dead, but if I had to pick one to keep forever, like we're getting rid of one, I would keep Titan.
This is not particularly close for me. I thought Titan was good, but I wasn't in love with it like a lot of other people were. Whereas Dick Johnson Is Dead is one of like the most emotionally affecting movies I have ever seen. I had to pause that movie multiple times because I was crying so hard. It was in my top 10. I got to go with Dick Johnson Is Dead.
Eric?
100% agree with Josh for the exact reasons. It was unbelievably innovative while being almost excruciatingly emotional.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dick Johnson Is Dead, but I love Titan. Oh.
I'm gonna change my answer live, actually. Not that I'm pressured into it. Like
the ratings
let
just
the
went
record
up.
show.
Oh my god!
I like thinking about it again. I prefer Claire Denis films if we're going with a French woman who can really go for it and push the boundaries. So I'll go with Dick Johnson Is Dead.
Man, God, that ending of Dick Johnson Is Dead, my God, wrecked me. My number 5 is Minari or Dune.
Minari.
Yeah, Minari. Yeah.
Okay. Minari.
Not that Dune is bad.
Not that Dune is bad. I love Dune.
Sorry,
But-
Spice
I
Girls.
didn't say I love Dune. I just want that on the record.
I love Dune. And
I like
Josh-
Dune. I didn't.
Josh loves Dune too.
I didn't love it, but
It's on the record. We'll edit it in. It's all right. Number 4, Mangrove or Come On, Come On.
I will go with Come On, Come On. It did not get the love that it deserves. And I already picked my favorite Steve McQueen from that series.
Josh?
I'm gonna say Mangrove. I'm gonna be honest. I was one of the outliers on Come On, Come On. Like I don't know what was wrong with me. I sort of missed the boat on loving that movie.
So Josh, what you're saying is like, come on.
I mean, a
What
little
is
bit.
this movie? You know
A
what I
little
mean?
bit. I mean, it was fine. I just was not
I get you.
over the moon about it, and I felt very lonely about that. I'm sorry.
Eric?
I think I'm going with Come On, Come On, but weirdly, I'm not super passionate about either. I like
Yeah, I mean,
both
kind of
a
the same.
lot. I'm just not like, oh, it's this.
I love Mangrove. I love Mangrove so much. Oh,
Obviously, it's
that movie is the much better version of Trial of Chicago 7.
well,
Well,
that goes.
don't
forgot
take
about
much.
that film. Yeah.
It doesn't take much, but it's like that movie should have got more love. All of Lovers Rock. Or, I mean, Small Axe. Lovers Rock 2, all those movies. But I'm going to go with Come On, Come On, because Mike Mills, the movie just wrecked me. My number 3 is, I already know where these are going, but for Sophia and probably everybody else. But my number 3, Tenet or Licorice Pizza.
Okay. Let the record show. I love Tenet.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, it has so many problems, but I think that it being my first movie back in the theater during COVID was special. Seeing Rob Pattinson shake the sugar packet, all of that, love it. But I have to go with Licorice Pizza. I love Licorice Pizza. I think in like 5 years, it will get a reevaluation and people will realize it was great.
Yeah, I just don't want to be online for that.
No, I'm not going to be online. It's still muted for me forever.
Josh?
Oh man, yeah. 2 movies that are extremely flawed from filmmakers that I have so much love and admiration for. Tenet is definitely a movie that I have grown to appreciate more in the time since I first saw it, but I still think just comparing quality movie to movie, I would say Licorice Pizza.
Eric?
I love Robert Pattinson and Elizabeth Debicki in Tenet. Best part of that movie is when somebody finally uses her height the right
Yes.
way in that car scene. Absolutely fucking awesome. But Licorice Pizza.
I love Licorice Pizza. I really do. It's a movie that it's grown on me over the couple months, and I can't wait to watch it again on Blu-ray. But
It also has the best Lucille Ball performance of 20.
damn right it does.
Mhm.
But I put like 30 minutes of Tenet on recently, and god damn it, that movie's just awesome. I just love that movie, and I don't see what that's a movie that'll get
Wait, were you about to say that you don't see why people don't like that movie? Were you really about to say that, Ryan?
I was about to say
Can't
that.
hear it.
Yeah. I heard it in IMAX, and it's great. I think that'll get reevaluated over the couple of years, just like Interstellar did for some people too, Josh.
We'll see.
yeah,
I think it's insulting to compare Interstellar to Tenet, but
that's his favorite
just
Nolan.
me.
So, I'll go with Licorice Pizza because it's shorter.
I appreciate you doing this comparison here because I would love to wipe a Kenneth Branagh movie out and pick a PTA one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Think about that.
We're gonna do my number twos, and this will be the easiest one we've done so far. Mank or Drive My Car.
Oh my God.
Drive My Car.
Josh.
Wow. I wonder. This is a tough one. Tough one, Ryan. Well,
Gotta go Mank.
By a hair. It'll be Drive My Car.
Eric.
I actually forgot that we were going to have to deal with Mank on this. So
I love Mank.
Obviously, Drive My Car.
Talk about a movie that'll get reevaluated. Mank. Drive My Car.
I think
I'm going with Drive My Car. Yeah. It's good. It's a good movie. My last one for my number ones, David Byrne's American Utopia or The Green Knight.
It's a swerve for a number one, but I like it.
Not
I'm gonna go
what
with The Green Knight.
Yeah, that's a very 2020 number one. But I do
was
have
No
to
Man
pick The
Land.
Green Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. Eric. Yeah, they're good movies.
They are. Even with Alicia Vikander, I will pick The Green Knight.
The final vote and say David Byrne's American Utopia. That's what I'll say.
It's so fun.
That movie is weirdly everything we need right now.
It's
Two.
so
And it's so fucking good. Yeah. So there's that. All right. I'm going to play another quick game here real quick. We've got a couple of minutes because Eric wouldn't shut up. So this game is a new game. This game is called Call Me By Your Tagline. That's right. We're going to take I'm going to say the tagline of a movie, and you are going to tell me what movie that is. We're going to go same order as the last game.
Oh,
Sophia?
can we switch it up, please?
Okay, we will go. We
Yeah,
will
should
go.
have to hit buzzers.
No, you all will have. There's enough for you. It's one at a time.
I have
there
such
you
a
go.
bad feeling about this.
So
Me too.
we will go Eric, Josh, Sophia. There we go.
Son of a
Switch it
bitch.
up. Josh stays right. Josh didn't say anything, so he gets to stay right there. So, Eric, it's not like things are black and white. It's not like things are black and white. What movie is that?
I don't know. I'm gonna do so poorly.
It was, I'll give you a hint, a Best Picture winner in the new millennium.
Oh, The Artist.
It's
I
not
don't
like things are black and white. No, is that your guess?
Sure. I'm gonna do really bad at this.
You are wrong. That was Crash 2004.
Oh.
Your favorite movie of that year.
Okay.
Makes sense, I
Wow.
Mhm.
As a side note, I am looking for a new executive editor. So if anybody would like to apply, please do now.
Josh Barham, put
Right.
on a happy face.
Put on a happy face. Joker?
That is correct.
Oh, it is? Wow.
guess. God.
That is correct. That is the tagline for the 2019 Oscar-winning film Joker.
It was a shot in the dark, honestly, because I tried to forget that Joker was a thing that happened.
I know you do, Josh. I did research for this game. Anyway, Sophia Simonello,
Okay.
Fearless lives forever.
Fearless lives forever.
Fearless lives forever.
Okay, so it has to be a bad movie because Crash and Joker.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. You'll never know.
I'm being so feisty today. I'm sorry, everybody.
It's that competitive Sophia Simonello.
I
coming
know.
out.
Based on that logic, shot in the dark, I'm going Bohemian Rhapsody.
That is correct.
All right.
No.
I am sensing the theme now.
Fearless lives forever.
How is that even related? I just picked like the worst one that came to my mind.
There you go.
Fearless
Eric
lives forever, but
is-
not bisexuality.
Eric has no points. Sophia and Josh are tied at 1 apiece. We go to the next round. We have 3 more rounds and they're pretty quick. All right. Eric Anderson, Life Finds a Way.
Is this like a Jurassic Park?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, Jurassic World.
Wait, which one?
The first one.
Which is?
I don't remember what it's called.
Which the first movie of that franchise?
Just Jurassic Park then.
Yeah, just to clarify yourself. You got a point. There you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay. Well, now the theme is out the window, so
I'm
I'm
so
Yeah.
back to square
Uh-oh.
one.
He's trying
Josh.
to trick us.
He is.
Josh,
All right.
up there with the best of the best.
Up there with the best of the best. I'm just gonna guess. I don't know. The first Top Gun. That's
That
right.
is correct.
It's right. Oh my god.
That is correct. Josh is up 2-1 on
I take no credit. These are shot
That was
designs.
good.
Sophia. We are our own worst enemy.
Oh God. Wow. It has to be a franchise film now. We are our own worst enemy. Yeah.
Yes, that is what I said. Correct.
Alien?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Jordan Peele's Us.
That's what I
Oh,
would have guessed.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
Eric.
Ugh.
Only the mad survive.
Only the mad survive.
Yes.
Ugh. We haven't gone into really old movies, so we're
Tried to keep it pretty recent
Yeah.
for the young voters out there. Right?
Here I was trying to think of. I was like studying like old taglines from like the 40s and 50s and shit.
When you saw the films in theaters, correct. All right.
God,
You set yourself up on that one.
I swear. What was it again?
Only the mad survive. Give me a guess. We don't have all night.
I have absolutely no idea. 12 Monkeys. I don't know.
That is incorrect. It is
Okay.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, geez.
You
I feel like that could have been
Really?
Joker too.
That could have been. That could have been the Suicide Squad. Really, any one of Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah,
Just put it up
Suicide
there.
Squad would have been my guess.
Yeah.
Taglines are not what they used to be.
No, they are not.
Josh, sometimes you choose your family.
Oh, this does sound familiar. Sometimes you
Mm.
choose your family. Oh, oh God. I feel like I could see it in like on the
Me too.
poster or in the trailer. Oh
God,
God.
I love this game. We're going to be doing this one more often. I'll tell you that.
God. Well, I can't think of it. I know this isn't it, so I'm just gonna say shoplifters. It's not.
That
it,
is
but-
correct.
Are you kidding me? Are you? Wait a minute. No, you're
Yeah.
joking.
That is correct. Sometimes you choose your family.
It
The
really is
tagline
shoplifters.
from Shoplifters. That is
Oh
correct.
My God. Josh, you are so good at this game.
He's been looking at his phone the entire time. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
have.
He is. No, I'm just kidding, Josh. Good for you.
My God.
Sophia, never did they expect to get into a controversial relationship. You got the longest one tonight. Never did they expect to
Like-
get into a controversial relationship.
Never did they expect to get into a controversial relationship.
Correct.
Terrible tagline.
That
I'm
feels
just
like-
saying.
I mean, It could be licorice pizza, but
I was
know
just
it's
gonna
not.
say they weren't that self-aware.
Can I have a hint?
No,
Do you guys know this one?
it fits with the theme from the last two. That's the only hint you get.
Cold War?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The Handmaiden. Park Chan-wook's next
Oh,
film
which
will
I
be
just
at Cannes
mentioned.
along with
God.
Kore-eda and George Miller.
Okay.
All right,
Got
last
it now.
round. Are you
Okay.
guys ready? Last round.
No, but go ahead.
Sophia has 1. Erik has
Embarrassing.
1. And Josh has 3. So Josh is basically the winner of this. But
Yes.
we'll just do this to see if he goes a perfect score.
God.
Erik, no one stays on top forever. Not only the tagline for this movie, but a statement for your life.
Wow.
No one stays on top forever.
Now I have to think if this is like part of the theme or if it's
Is
just
it?
completely outside because
Well, it's
you're a
hard for
bastard.
you because you start the theme.
Yeah.
I
Sophia,
guess.
would you like to take his spot on
No,
this
no,
one?
No, I'm good. It just
Thank
that one
you.
makes me think of Lady Bird. Anyway, it's not that. Just makes me think of that great line she has.
Wait, what was it again? No one stays on top. What?
No one stays on top forever. I'm having way too much fun with this game.
Because you don't have to guess.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this table next time.
No, you're not.
On top forever.
You do not get to be on the next episode. Josh gets to. He's going to win this game. The show's for winners.
Josh deserves to win.
3, 2,
I'm not gonna guess. I
1.
have no idea.
Casino.
God.
Mm,
Yeah.
I would have guessed Scarface. That was the one that came up in my mind.
yeah.
Okay.
Sophia. Murderers come with a smile.
Oh God. Now I'm just trying to think of the theme here.
Is there a theme on this last one? I kind of
Murders
just
come with a smile.
And the 1st
I'm
one was
like, is it
Casino.
Robert De Niro? Scorsese. Oh, I know this one. I've
Do you?
seen this before. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Goodfellas?
that is correct.
Oh, yes. Finally, a point.
Oh, you have 2. So Eric's dead
No,
last.
Finally, another point,
Oh,
I
yes,
guess,
I
rather.
am.
It's been a while.
He's already dead. But
Bringing
now
up
he's
the
just
rear.
last. All right, Josh. You ready?
Sure.
You should get this.
We'll see.
His story changed history.
Say that again.
His story changed history.
His story changed history.
His story changed history.
I hate that so much.
It's basically history changed history.
Oh,
Oh yeah. huh.
You get it? It's a play on words.
That thing's
So glad I got this
way
one.
more clever than it is.
Yeah. Is it Kundun?
That is incorrect. Josh
Okay.
did not go 4 for 4. It is The Irishman. Which
Well,
when
the
I
thing
saw
is,
that,
that tagline could describe so many Scorsese films.
correct.
I was going to guess The Aviator.
That
I
was
was-
the other one I was
yeah.
thinking
when
of.
I saw that tagline, I thought Lincoln, and I was like, why not?
Okay. I mean,
All
it
right.
makes sense, but yeah, The Aviator was one I was thinking of. I thought you were going to do like something sneaky and throw in one that nobody talks about.
I was thinking about it. But then that's
Yeah, that's not how I thought this was gonna go.
next time. It'll
That
be
was
harder.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys have fun?
No.
Good job, Josh. Congratulations, Josh.
I
Yes,
take no
congrats to
credit.
Josh.
Those were 3 shots in the dark that just happened to
was-
be lucky.
That
There you
was
go.
stellar.
All right. that is it for this week's Awards Watch podcast. Sophia Simonello, can you tell everyone out there where they can find you and all of your amazing work on the internet?
Of course, you can find me on Twitter at Sophia_Sim, CIM, also on Letterboxd at the same name, just without the underscore. And you can find my podcast, Oscar Wilde. We release episodes every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. And you can follow us on Twitter at Oscar Wilde Pod.
Love that show. Love it.
Thank you.
Josh Parham, where can they find you on the internet and all your fantastic work, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at JR Parham, and can also find a lot of my other work over on Next Best Picture.
Old lady, Erik, can we find you flying around on a broomstick on the internet?
Oh my God.
Love you, Erik. Where can we find you and all the work on the internet?
Oh, this is still nicer than what I say to you in text. So
that's true.
I can't really complain.
Yeah.
Yes, please find me and us and you and everybody at AwardsWatch.com. On Twitter, you can find me at awards_watch. And we've got Oscar predictions coming this week and lots of Emmy predictions.
Yes.
From myself and Tyler Doster.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Taylor back on to talk some Emmy stuff, because
Yeah.
I've been watching some shows.
Yeah,
so,
we've got a lot of Emmy stuff this week.
Yeah. You can find my work here at awardswatch.com, In Session Film and Film Speak. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Ryan McQuaid 77. Oh, and Letterboxd, Ryan McQuaid 77. We'll be back next week. Till then, have a safe week, and we will see you all next time.